Yeah.
Yeah. Did you buy the book?
I've already got it.
You've already got it?
Yeah.
Good cover, good cover. Has anybody got the book? Lovely. Oh, a clap. The person who clapped. What's your review? Actually, did you like it?
Yeah, it was cracking.
Yes, there we go. What's your review to persuade Simon to buy it?
If you plan on having any more children, it's a really great book.
I'm not getting it then.
My job is done. Right then. Well, thank you for coming back. How good is Katie, by the way? Absolutely cracking, isn't it? Isn't she? She's fantastic. Right, shall I get on with my bloody show?
Yeah.
I mean, it's why I've come all the way up here to see you books the chemist, so why bloody not? So, what I want to talk to you about is that I have had a weird few years. So, I had a baby 3 years ago, and I'm pretty sure we're going to keep her, which is good news. I wasn't sure at the beginning, but she's at that age now where she can be trained, which is good fun. So, for instance, I can now show her a picture from my wedding, and I'll point at me, and she says, "Oh, wow, Mummy is beautiful." And then I point at my husband, and she says, "Wow, Daddy is lucky." It's important to teach her about hierarchies early on, I like to think. I always think it's quite interesting how kids get their nicknames, right? So my sister Shona was Shosha Bubble Bonbons. I was Ella Bella Bim Bamboo. And my daughter was immediately Rat Bag. Straight away, Rat Bag, right? And I started talking about her online. And I thought, hey, I'm a cool hip mum. And by the skin of my teeth, I am the oldest millennial in the world. I know what I'll do. Instead of writing the words Rat Bag, I'll put the emojis instead. So instead of the word rat, put an emoji of a rat. Instead of the word bag, put an emoji of a bag. I thought, very clear, very funny, I'm an absolute hoot. So I got about 20 DMs back going, why do you call your daughter Mouse Satchel? So Mouse Satchel she is. Now, I agreed to do this tour when I was about 2 weeks away from giving birth to Mouse Satchel. And my husband was a little bit worried. He was like, "Ellie, are you sure you want to make this very big work commitment when you are so full to the brim of life?" And I was like, "It's fine! I grew a spine today. I can do anything!" Pretty sure if I can bosh out a baby, I can bosh out a few wry observations on vegans and the difference between men and women. Thank you very much. In fact, I'll just combine the two. I'll be like, "Oh my God, vegans! I'm talking about being vegans almost as much as women love putting extra cushions on the bed. Am I right?" Standing ovation. Appearance on Strictly. OBE United announced as a new James Bond. Thank you very much. Good night. I thought this is going to be a piece of piss. Writing a new tour show with a newborn baby. This is the best idea I've ever had. Fast forward to March 2019. Mouse Satchel is 3 months old. I'm waking up 5, 6, 7 times in the night. I am fueled entirely by Diet Coke, mini cheddars and despair. I'm in a toxic and very much one-sided relationship with Judge Rinder. And it is at this point that I sit down and start to try and write this show, at which point I have the awful realisation that clearly when I gave birth, my placenta was made out of my brain. Because I have absolutely no ideas on anything. I have no opinions on anything. Ask me about any hot topic, I didn't have a clue. Like Brexit, climate change, ISIS, good, bad, who can tell? I was like human mundanity. I was the physical incarnation of the One Show. Talk to me for long enough, I go into a 7-minute segment on ferret rehoming. curate and new ways to be passive aggressive to my husband. I'd spend my days being like, oh, that's how you change your nappy, is it? That's interesting. I just do it the right way. And I didn't expect it to be like this. I didn't think having a kid would sort of change me so profoundly. I kind of thought having a kid was just something that you did. You know, have a baby, go to Dubai, one of those sorts of things. But it really did change me. I feel like I should sort of find out actually who are my kind in the audience. So give me a yell if you are a parent. Holy shit, loads of you. Okay, give me a yell if you are a parent of a little one. Has anyone got a baby under a year? Give me a yell.
Hey!
Anyone got a baby under 6 months? Give me a yell.
Hey!
Ooh, down here there's a low one. How old is your one?
7 weeks.
7 weeks! Holy shit, can anyone be 7 weeks? 6 weeks! This is a weird option. 6 weeks! Where's 6 weeks? Here, are you down here? Up here! 6 weeks, oh my god! And who is it? Who's that? Mum and dad or mum or dad? Both! Both! Who's got the babes? Yes! Oh, is the baby down? Yeah. Yes! We don't really give a shit, you're in the dark and we've got boomers. Yeah, good. She's still in the days, that's fine. What's the baby called? Ellie, beautiful name. And is Ellie a good baby or is she a bit of a prick? It's got to be asked. Is she alright? She's a rat bag, who she bloody is. If you ever want to borrow one of the songs I used to sing to my little girl when she was being annoying, it was this one. It was, naughty baby going in the bin. Like, no idea what you're saying. It's really quite cathartic, it really is. Lovely. Thank you so much for spending your precious evening with me. I really do appreciate it. If you want to fall asleep, you're absolutely allowed at any point. Lovely. Okay, so we've got very new parents. Have we got anyone who's got a lot of children? We know actually that lady who's got 4. Has anyone got more than 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, down here again. Is it the same person?
Yeah. Got 5.
5? Any more than 5?
I know of anyway.
Classic crew. And what are the ages?
19, 15, 14, 13, 7 weeks.
Oh, that's pretty spicy, isn't it? That's pretty something. And what's the best thing about having all those children?
Just being a dad.
Just being a dad?
Yeah.
A bit bloody earnest. That is lovely. I'm glad you like that. The most I've ever had, someone in the audience, a bloke had 6 once upon a time. And I said to him, when should you have stopped? And he said, at the beginning. Quite right. Have we got any pregos in? I should probably ask that as well. Oh, a few! Oh, how prego are you? 7 months! Oh, is it your first one? It is. Oh. All the other mums in the room are going, oh my god. This is the best bit, isn't it? When you are pregnant and you've just got the idea of the baby, but not the actual baby. This is honestly the most romantic one. Enjoy every moment. It's awful, but you'll be okay. Just sort of sorry for the rest of the show, really. But no, it's going to be lovely. It's mostly sometimes magical. It really is. And then let's do the other side of the coin. Is anyone who's here happily child-free in loving life? Yes, there we go. Fair enough. Was there someone down here who's happily child-free? You, lovely. And why did you never fancy my kids?
I'm not maternal.
You're not maternal?
Oh.
Oh, she's fine. She's having a great life. She's got more money than any of us parents. Quite right. And do you have nieces and nephews or anything? Do you like them or just any children?
Only child.
You're an only child? Yeah, good. You're horribly selfish bitch. But it's quite nice to know. It's just not your vibe. That's absolutely fine. That's great. And so I was going to ask you, was sort of like any sort of environmental concerns, but I'm guessing no. No, that's fine too. I think about my kids in that point of view, and I'm trying not to, be too excessive when it comes to using plastic and stuff. So I just drink sort of glass bottles of wine. That's kind of how I help things. I do like talking to people who don't have children, because I find it really fascinating. I had a lady in the audience the other day, and she didn't have kids, and I said, just sort of talk dirty to me at the weekend. What time did you get up? And she said, I don't know, 10. And I was like, oh my god. Do you ever get up earlier than that? And she said, only if I'm going to the airport. I wanted to punch her, but I was too weary. No, I do love hearing about childcare people, because I miss my old life so much. I really do. I'd like to start a parent's version of Babe Station. So instead of watching sexy ladies, you just watch non-parents read the papers in silence. Surrounded by very pointy furniture and bottles of bleach. Because I miss my old life so much, but I should also say that I love my kids. I fucking love my kids. So much, it makes me do that for them. I love her so much! I love her so much. The best way to describe the love of my daughter, I would say, is violence, right? Some parents are like, oh, I just want to nibble their little toes. I'm like, I have visceral thoughts about her bum cheeks in a sandwich. I haven't broken skin yet, but it's a matter of time. I would say I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with my daughter, and I think people overuse that term these days, don't they? Oh my god, I'm obsessed with the Bake Off. Are you, Julie? We just watched 2 episodes and eaten some Backerberg. It's not the same. It's not the same. I am obsessed with my daughter. I just want to be as physically close to her as humanly possible. I just want her little spitty face. Right, if I could glue gun her head to my head and wear her as a noisy fascinator, I would. I love so much. I really do. I love other people loving her, especially strangers. I really enjoy that. So I remember we went for a little walk around where I used to live in London, which was about a year ago. So I used to live in a bit of London in Hackney that was kind of cool, but also a little bit dodgy. Basically, if you like turmeric lattes and discarded mattresses on every street corner, it's the postcode for you, right? So we and my daughter, we were out for a little walk, and I was pushing the buggy past a Ladbrokes betting shop, and it was probably about 12 noon, right? And this drunk bloke sort of stumbled out of the Ladbrokes, and the sort of middle-class snobby bit of me started thinking in my head, oh, look at that, drunk and gambling in the middle of the day. A sign of broken Britain, how very sad. And then this drunk bloke walks past me, looks in the buggy, and goes to my daughter, you are an absolute beauty. At which point I start thinking, wow, who doesn't love a lunchtime supper? And a little flutter on the GGs. It's good enough for Queen Elizabeth II. It is good enough for my new friend over there who is urinating on a lamppost. I love other people loving her. Even someone horrible would say something lovely about my daughter, and I immediately like her. Someone like Lawrence Fox could tell me my daughter is verbally advanced, and I'd be like, thank you, Lawrence, you're right. And now you say it, do you know what else you write about? Those pesky migrants, right? I love it, and especially when she was little, I would just want to send photos of her to people. I would go through my phone in my contacts list, just trying to find a new person. Send photos of her too. I'd be like, Mum, have you seen it? Husband, sitting right there. Wojciech the plumber, send. Sure, he appreciates a woman's right to breastfeed anyway. Oh, he's replied. Oh, he's asked for a picture without the baby. But I do love my daughter so much, but it makes no sense that I love her this much, because she has completely ruined my life. She's ruined my brain, she's ruined my body, she's ruined my social life. Like, me and my husband went on a date night recently. Do you know where we ended up? A food court in a regional shopping centre. Nothing says get the spark back like a Key Royale next to a Burton's. Christ. And she's ruined my sex life as well, but absolutely no time or inclination for any of that. Thank you very much. So much so I've started calling my husband brother. Started off as a joke, but there's no laughter anymore. And in case any of you are thinking, like sexy Game of Thrones, brother and sister, absolutely not. Very much like, it's your turn to lay the table, give me back my Game Boy, dickhead! That sort of vibe. But I was trying to find my like sexiness again. I thought I need to try and find my mojo, right? So I thought, I know, I'll go online and I'll try and look at some naughty videos. Right? So I went online and I came across something, I don't know if you've heard of it, called pornography. Simon, if you haven't checked it out before, it's quite a vibe, let me tell you that, right? So I was watching porn, right? My daughter, it turns out, has ruined porn for me. I was watching it the whole time thinking, oh my god, that used to be someone's little girl. Oh god, someone used to get excited because she could hold her own carrot battle. Now look what she's holding. I suppose at least she's a nurse. It's hard to feel sexy when you've had a baby because you're sort of getting used to this new body that you've got. And I know you're all probably thinking, Ellie, what are you talking about? You've absolutely snapped back into shape. Guys, stop objectifying me! Stop objectifying me! Simon, please objectify me. Oh, this is the point of the show where I used to bully the person I was talking to into saying something nice about me. But I had to stop after I was talking to a bloke in a gig in Exeter. And I was like, say something nice about me, say, like, name any part of my body that you like. And he looked absolutely terrified, just sitting there, like, scanning my body, and just like, shin! I don't need that shit in my life, thank you very much. But I didn't expect to need to feel objectified after I had a baby. Like, when I was pregnant, I had all these lofty ideas, like, well, after I've had a child, I hope no one mentions how much baby weight I will lose, because that is meaningless. The only thing they should congratulate me on is giving birth to a new life. And then, of course, as soon as the kid was here, I was like, anyone who came around my house, stop cooing at the baby and tell me I'm a sexy, skinny bitch! Yes, you do that! Just gagging to be objectified. I spent my maternity leave wandering the streets like, what will it take for a scaffolder to give me the blowjob gesture? Walking past building sites, furiously eating bananas. Does my check work here? Potassium levels went through the bloody roof. So but I have sort of wanted to like get used to my new body. I want to fit back in my old clothes and stuff. So I started going back to the gym. And when I was at the gym the other day, I came across a new hero, right? And I've already got a few heroes on my hero list, the usual kind of suspects, amazing women who've done incredible things, Malala, Michelle Obama, Lorraine Kelly, that sort of thing. But when I was at the gym the other day, I found a new lady, right? So I'm there in the corner, like getting changed, like, oh, don't look at me, I'm so revolting. I'm basically saying my body's kind of gone back to how it was, but everything just looks a little bit sadder. Like, I don't know if tits can be depressed, but if these guys were humans, I'd be sending them kitten videos and encouraging them to do a gratitude journal. That's which is a diary I would love to read. Dear diary, today she put us in a new bra, and yet I still feel weary. I wish she would just plop us in a sloggy crop top and let us wither away and die. It's the voice of my baby, Simon. Anyway, I'm in the gym getting changed. And then I see this goddess walking out from the shower, right? So she's completely naked and she's holding her towel by her side. And that wasn't even the bit that really impressed me. The bit that really impressed me was the order in which she got dressed, right? So in a room full of people with eyes, she put on her bra, deodorant, she brushed her hair, she checked her phone, and only then did she put on knickers. I couldn't believe it. I don't know about you, but I like to keep my genitals under wraps and in the dark at all times, much like a married type of potato. She couldn't give a shit. I mean, Michelle Obama has done some amazing things, but until she's air dried her veg in a fitness first, she is no longer number one on my hero list. Because that's what I'm trying to do. Now I've had a kid, feeling a bit unconfident, so I'm trying to collect inspiration inspirational women to go on my hero list, women to give me a little pep in my step, right? Because, you know, I want to be able to pass all this sort of stuff to my daughter, and especially when it comes to body confidence. And I think I've got a lot better in that, actually, like my relationship with food and stuff. I basically have like a healthy diet, but, you know, if I want to have a biscuit, I will open a packet of biscuits, I will have a couple, you know, and then I'll get the rest of the packet of biscuits and throw them in the bin, and then squirt fairy liquid all over them. So I don't go after them like the dirty little piggy that I am. So, just normal, do you know what I mean? And I want to pass that on to my daughter, I do. I've got some other things I'd like to pass on to my daughter, actually, some other thoughts. My other thought is that misogyny is actually really quite reasonable. Bear with me on this one, right? Because of course men should hate women, because women have babies, and having babies is magic, and people hate magic. Like a woman having a baby is the ultimate pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Where did it come from? Was it there the whole time? Did she sellotape it to the side? I don't understand it! It's amazing. We carry life, we expel it from our bodies, and then we keep it alive using only our boobs like a human vending machine. What can men possibly do to compete with that?
Oh, actually, Ellie, we're very good at lifting little suitcases into overhead lockers.
It's embarrassing! It's embarrassing for them. That's why men have meetings. I don't know if you've heard about this. They have meetings. They do. They get together and go,
Women having children is really showing us up. What can we do to put them in their place? We've already written them out of history and paid them less. We need something else that will really punish them. I know, let's make sure none of their clothes have pockets in!
women are magic. Women are magic. I fucking love women. I do. I'm a real girl's girl. I really am. I love my husband, but ideally, my ideal living situation would be a commune of all my girlfriends. We'd hang out all day, watching This Morning, French plaiting our hair, talking about girls, supporting girls, then slagging off Stacey Dooley. Happy place, that's what we want to do. And occasionally we'd allow blokes into big bloke things, you know, like lift up a winning suitcase, explain what airdrop is, slip us a bit of tongue. That's all we That's what we want. And I really love women, but since I've had a kid, my favourite woman is a mother. I love a mother. Can you yell in the room if you're a mum? I love you all. You are, honestly, all of you are amazing. And you are my sisters. I love you. And in the words of my favourite folk singer, David Guetta featuring Ava. Damn you, the city bitch! I love you all, but the women I love the most, the mothers I love the most are the newborn mums. Oh my God, I see a newborn mum come towards me and my heart explodes because I know the grenade of shit that's just been lobbed into her life. I see her and I'm like, I am you, you are me, and we are both too tired to do liquid eyeliner. And then I always have the coded mum chat. I don't know if any of you do this, where you look in the buggy and go, oh, how old? Which means, oh, do you regret your life choices? And then she'll say, 6 weeks, which means, I'm a husk of a human. And then I'll say, oh, don't worry, it gets easier, which means it does not get easier. Sometimes I want to leave mine out for the foxes. And we both go and have a cry in Tesco's. It's lovely. It is, because, oh my God, right, all of parenting is undoubtedly hard, but the newborn days, to misquote Charles Dickens, it was the worst of times, it was the worst of times. It's so tricky, and I thought I was kind of prepared, to be honest. When I was pregnant, I was like, well, how hard can it be? I used to watch a lot of the Rugrats, this is fine. I know it all. I thought, just to be on the safe side, we'll do some parenting classes. So I booked us in to do NCT. Has anyone heard of you done NCT? Anyone do NCT? Yeah, a few of you. If you haven't heard of it, NCT stands for National Children Team. No one knows. No one knows. And it's basically classes that you go to where you learn how to work the baby. And so what happens is 8 couples turn up to a Salvation Army hall on a Thursday evening. And there's a lady there called Janet wearing culottes and a lot of fair trade jewellery. And then she'll say things like, are you familiar with the term mucus plug? Before showing you a PowerPoint presentation best described as harrowing. You basically do it to friends. You essentially pay £250 to buy a WhatsApp group. That's what you do. And or in our case, we actually got 2 WhatsApp groups out of it. We got the pregnant lady group and the partners group. And in our boringly hetero class, it was all blokes in the partners class. Partners group. So the ladies' WhatsApp group has been like lit ever since, right? It's been off the hook with messages, birth and naps and feeding. Even today, it's a solid banter on anus stuff. It's great. The blokes' WhatsApp group has been completely silent for around 2.5 years now. Apart from around 6 weeks ago, we're at the age now where our kids are being potty trained, right? So about 6 weeks ago, one of the dads broke the silence by sending a picture of a shit his little girl had done in the potty with the caption, beast. Needless to say, that little girl went on a hero list. My husband hung out quite a lot with the NCT ladies at the beginning because he looked after our little girl for a while, he took some time off work. And I remember saying, when she was there, I was like, darling, what is harder? Is it, your normal day job as a journalist, or is it looking after a newborn baby? And he thought for a little bit and was like, well, I've never had to hose mashed banana off a car seat in Kabul before, so there you are. But he learned a lot from the NCT months, he did. I remember him learning about push presents. Now, push presents are very important. They're the present that the person, like the partner of the person having the baby, has to buy them to say thank you for the bank of your uterus. So he came back from a music class with the NCT mums and was like, oh yeah, Laura said that Steve bought her a Celine handbag. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You didn't get me anything. And he's like, oh, yeah, I did. I got you loads of Just Eats. I was like, first of all, they were on the joint account. Secondly, it's actually more for you, because if you had bought me a Celine handbag, the blowjobs I would have given you if you weren't my brother. So we did the NCT classes, and I thought, well, if I didn't know all about babies before, now I definitely do. I'm fine. But then my sister kept saying to me, Ellie, but you do know, having a baby is really hard. And I was like, oh yes, having a baby is really hard. But in the back of my head, I just kept thinking, yes, but it won't be for me, will it? After all, I've done the Duke of Brazil. Honestly, I was so naive. I really was. I went to all of it so naive, even like the birth and stuff. So my birth, actually, it wasn't too bad. So I had an elective cesarean for some medical reasons. And even though it was for medical reasons, I got quite a lot of shit from it. A lot of people like to say to me, oh, too push to push. Please do push to push, too push. I think most people it's a fun little phrase to say, isn't it? Too push to push. It's like the Betty bought a bit of butter of the maternity word. Too push to push. And I remember one of my very good friends getting really quite judgmental about it. I remember her saying to me, oh, cesarean, don't even want to try vaginal birth. Don't even want to try it. Try it like it was a new flavoured kettle chip. Try it, just because you shut out your disgusting child using nothing but a Strepsil. I mean, I have to. How did that work out for you? Because he's over there licking a wall. And do you know, I did actually end up trying natural birth, because on the morning of my planned cesarean, I went into natural labour. I had around 2 hours of contractions and can confirm, much like Aperol Spritz, not for me, thank you. Dreadful affair. 2 stars at best, awful. But I remember, all of it, I went in so naively, I really did. On the morning of my cesarean, the last day I was a proper line, I set my alarm early so I could have time to curl my hair. It's like, well, I knew it was going to be this very momentous 24 hours. I was also viewing it as a selfie-heavy day. And the stuff I packed, oh my God, I took with me to the labour ward, hairdryer and straighteners. It's like I thought I was going on a hairdo. I'm surprised it wasn't a gin in a can or Billy Whistle in there. God. Oh, I'm telling you, the thing that really embarrasses me, that I genuinely took to the hospital, I took with me a notepad and pen in case I had any creative ideas. Unbelievable. What did I think it was going to be like? Midwife, please hold the newborn child. I just had a great idea for a sitcom. What a twat. to lift it up high. And then I just shove everything in one of those big blue IKEA bags. And I was like, that's exactly how Kate Middleton arrived at the window ring, I'm sure. So we got to hospital and we went down to the theatre for the cesarean. I was sitting on the operating table about to have a spinal block, which is where they numb you from the waist down. And it's at this point that I start crying because I'm scared and, more importantly, I love drama. Oh God, I love drama, especially on a high stakes day. Right? So my wedding day was one of the best days of my life, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I married my husband. Right? So in the evening of our wedding, about 9 p.m, all the speakers blew. So there was suddenly no music for the party, and I was like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. I was absolutely distraught, ran to the toilet, and then I caught sight of myself in the mirror crying in my wedding dress. It was so melodramatic, the version of erotic. I was like, ushered in the wedding photographer, you need to document this, I look like a weeping angel. I love drama, and I love other people's drama as well. Very happy to get involved in that. Very happy. Like if I had a choice on a Friday night between like dinner and drinks with friends or watching two strangers argue over a seat reservation on a train. What's that, Simon? What's the weirdest thing I've ever seen on a train? Very strange question, but I will answer it. So it was probably actually, no, I can think of it, on the way back from a gig in Cardiff, I saw a lady on the train. She was sitting at 4C and she plugged into the plug socket an incubator full of baby chickens. True story. I was like, bloody hell, she is confident in that power supply, because if there is any fluctuation in that current, by the time we get to Paddington, that is a very fresh KFC. Anyway, I'm not operating this. Operating this, spinal block's happening. And I'm crying. And this lovely nurse starts telling me how brave I'm being, and then she starts wiping away my tears. And I think, oh my God, in an overstretched NHS, what a beautiful moment of humanity. I also do start thinking, you're wiping off my concealer, and this is such a holiday, bitch. But I put that to one side because I'm very humble. And then I'm laying down on the operating table, and I'm basically completely naked now. I've got this little sort of little curtain under my neck, so I can't see anything that's going on, and I'm really trying to get centred and like get my head together. And I'm thinking about how I've got here, and about all the women in my family that have done this before me, and I'm just part of this line of women like going back generations and generations, and I'm ready and I'm centred and I'm there. And then one of the operating theatre staff pops their heads over the little curtain and said, really liked you on Live at the Apollo. Hopefully the last time I will be recognised while being catheterised. And then before I know it, the operation is happening and my enormous daughter is being heaved out of me. She was massive, she looked like a small man. She looked like Declan Donnelly being brought forward. Almost made them go back in, Ant wasn't in there as well. So Dec gets taken off to be cleaned up, and then she's put on my chest, and I'm staring at her, my little girl, and my husband there, and it's just this magical moment, interrupted only by the surgeon loudly saying, right, it's now time to clean the gutters. To this day, I have absolutely no idea what gutters are, but I'm just very delighted, at least mine are clean. Something to think about this time. That's not even the worst thing I've heard a doctor say. Perhaps one of my friends had a vagina birth. It was quite a rough birth as she tore and she needed to be sewn up afterwards. And while she was being sewn up, she heard one doctor say to the other, ooh, where does that bit go? She did not leave a good check and trade review for him. So I'm into recovery, and I soon realised that having a baby is slightly harder than the Duke of Edinburgh Silver Awards. I'm in so much pain trying to stand up for the first time after a cesarean. I'm crying, I'm screaming, my husband's trying to make me feel better by saying helpful things like, maybe they've left something inside you. Genuinely said that. I was like, I wish I'd never let you inside me. That's one thing that really got me actually. Within about 8 hours of having a kid, I had 2 different contraception going forward. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm in absolute agony. I'm bleeding from everywhere. I'm wearing underwear so big it could be used to hoist sea mammals from oil spills. Even if Ryan Gosling walked in right now and said, hey Ellie, I've seen footage of you eating bananas next to building sites, how about it? I'd be like, Ryan, unless you've got some mini cheddars and some morphine, you can piss off! Don't even want to shag my brother, for God's sake. So I stayed in hospital for a night, and then it's time to go home, and that was very different to how I imagined as well. In my head, I thought, I'd pop on the new outfit I bought, I'd blow dry and straighten my hair, I'd probably swing by the nurse's station, read them a new poem I'd written in my notebook. In reality, it was a coat over a nightie job. I looked like a nana who escaped from a nursing home, wearing a sanitary towel the size of one of those discarded mattresses from Harry. Christ alive. And then when I got home, the agony wasn't even bloody over because when I had a sterilise and risk of deep vein thrombosis, something else that having a baby and going to Dubai have in common. So my husband had to administer these injections for 2 weeks. So every evening, my bedroom door would fling open and my husband would be there. He was talking towards me. It was probably like a horror movie, except in this horror movie, the evil psycho would stab the vulnerable woman and then say, well, very brave, would you like a women's smoothie? He was wonderful, my husband. He looked after us so well. He really, really did. So much so that I started calling him Dobby. So much cleaning and cooking. Honestly, when he made me a lovely lunch, I'd give him a sock as a reward. If you don't get that reference, you should educate yourself. So my husband is Australian, and his mum came to stay with us after we had the baby. She came to stay with us for 4 months, which is the perfect amount of time. Love that, really love that. I love it when she'd go, the baby's hungry, I think she needs your teeth. Tea time! She's a little tea monster! I love that. I didn't cry that. I think that was you, so get over it. I always feel bad saying that. Like she's a lovely lady, my mother-in-law. She really is. She's quite religious. She's quite Catholic, and I hadn't realised how Catholic she was until I caught her, I'm pretty sure, trying to baptise the baby in the bath. Either that or she's got a very stylised way with shampoo. But she told me some stories about my husband which I didn't know. Right? So I always knew that he went to a Catholic school over there, but I didn't know the name of it. Turns out my husband went to the most Australian sounding Catholic school I've ever heard of in my life. He went to St. Kevin's. St. Kevin's! The patron saint of racism and melanoma. I've never heard of St. Kevin. I've never heard of St. Kevin, so I looked him up, and he sounds like a top guy. He's famous for 2 main stories, really. So the first story is about one day St. Kevin was having a prayer. He loved having a prayer, very on brand. And he was praying for so long that he had his hands outstretched that one day a little birdie landed in his hand and started to build a nest. And St. Kevin was like, well, who am I to rock the boat here? He stood still until that nest had been built, till the eggs had been laid, and those little birdies hatched and flew away. What an amazing guy. Right? And then the other story about him is how a lady tried to seduce him and he drowned her. And that's where that phrase comes from. A bird in the hand is worth a dead one in the lake. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. No, I feel a bit bad for my husband being over here, being away from his homeland of Oz. I think that's because I've watched quite a lot of Wanted Down Under. I think that's the problem. If you haven't seen that show, what it is a British couple go over to Australia to live their life for a week to see where they want to live, and at the end of the week they have to vote, right? And the voting system is very high tech. So what happens is it's an A4 piece of paper, and on one side there's an Aussie flag, on one side there's a British flag, and it's been laminated because there's a little bit of budget. And what they do is twiddle it, and then after 3 they'll land it on the flag of the country that they want to live in. So I'll be like, 1, 2, 3, Australia! And then the lady will be like, oh, Jim, you went with Australia? I thought you was going to go with the UK. And then the man will be like, well, Pam, after thinking about it, what with the
wildlife and the sunshine and the lack of depression and rickets. I think Sydney may be a job of Wigan after all. And then it will cut to Nikki Chapman from Popeye Little in a lovely dress for monsoon. And she'll be sitting on a rock, and then she'll say, well, Pam and Jim love their lifestyle, but what will they think after they've seen some messages from home? And then it will cut to Pam's elderly mother on a horrible sofa. And she'll be saying, well, I mean, if they do go, I can't imagine we will ever know happiness again. But my husband has been stockpiling his heart medication, so if they do immigrate, we plan to slip away gently in each other's arms. But she has to do whatever she thinks is right. It's great family viewing, it really is. It really is. It does make me think, though. It makes me go, oh my God, what if my daughter fucks off and leaves like my husband's done to his parents? What if she leaves me? Probably because I keep calling her mouse actual. What if she goes, maybe I need a backup child, right? And I haven't thought this before. I always just thought I'd just have one kid. I thought one and done. So I thought one, there's little phrases, all the amount of kids you have. One and done, 2 and through, 3's for me, 4 and get a sex and carry. That sort of thing. I always just thought one. My mum's like, you can't just have one. If she's her only child, she'll be a horrible, precocious show-off. I was like, hello? Mum, I'm a horrible, precocious show-off, and I've done the Crystal Maze with Jonah Collins. If you haven't pushed the GC for a metal tube in the industrial zone, how do you even live? And she's like, no, Ellie, no, think of the lovely relationship you've got with your sister. And I was like, Mum, I think you are overestimating the calibre of my sister. I mean, sure, she's fine for a kidney, but she used to be mean to me when I was a kid. She's 4 years older than me. She used to charge me £1 to enter her room. To be fair to her, she did give me the option to win that money back if I would let her slap me around the face. I mean, obviously I let her because I love drama. But I don't know. I do wonder what she's going to be like as a little personality. I really do. And like now I'm getting sort of more of a glimpse about what she's going to be like. But when they're little, you just don't know. And it's a bit weird. It's a bit boring at home. So I used to project different personalities onto my little girl. I think my favourite one was a Russian Tsarina who would say things like, Mum, give me another penny for wool, like shipping a phone case. Judge Rinder's not on all the time, guys. You've got to make up your own fun. Yeah, I hope she gets, you wonder what traits she's going to get from you and your partner, and like, I really hope she doesn't get my bad traits. Like, I really hope she doesn't get my negativity, because I'm a real negative Nelly, and I know some people wouldn't think that. I think people often look at me and go, oh, Ellie seems good fun. On a night out, I bet we'd have an absolute bloody riot. I can assure you we wouldn't. My general outlook is sort of Eeyore on the way back from a stag do. On 5% phone battery with a mouth ulcer. That's kind of my vibe. That's just like, it's not like even glass is half empty. It's like, what is the point of even filling up the glass? Because then we'll have to put it in the dishwasher, and we're out of salt, so it will come out streaky. But also, death awaits us all. That's where I'm sort of at. Whereas my husband, he's not like that at all. He's very chirpy, very confident, even in the face of being completely wrong, which I really enjoy about him. So he's been in the UK, I would say, for 15 years now, right? Still gets basic things wrong. So there was a noise in our roof recently, and I'm in the bedroom like, what could it be? Is it the TV aerials? One of the slats loose or something? Husband walks in, don't worry, worked out what it is. Probably just possums. Oh yeah, the well-known Essex possum. Almost as famous as the Stoke wombat, isn't it? Good lordy. He is very confident, and I'm not as confident as him, I don't think. Although in saying that, my daughter has given me confidence in different ways. She's given me new skills I didn't have before. Like, when she was little, I became very good at breastfeeding. Oh, I could breastfeed anywhere while doing anything. I would breastfeed while cooking dinner, breastfeed while going to the loo. I would breastfeed while opening the door to the Amazon man. He would leave the parcels by the bins after a while. I also got very good at breast pumping or expressing milk. Now, if you're not familiar with expressing milk, let's get down to the titty gritty. What you need
to express milk, we have a breast pump, which is sort of like this big motor thing, and there'll be tubes that come from the motor that go to these little cups that go to your boobs that are called phalanges. True story, Simon. Right? You pop them over your boobs, you turn the motor on, and your nipples like get sucked in, and it expresses the milk. You know, your nipples are not being like stretched, like, you know, like a piece of mozzarella between two pizzas. Sorry for ruining both boobs and pizzas. Is there anything left in your life? So that's what breast pumping is like. So when my daughter was about 4 months old, I had to go away for a work trip, and people saying it's hard to leave a newborn. Newsflash, it's not. I mean, I missed her, but I also slept 8 hours and watched 100 episodes of The West Wing, so everything matched. So I had to go away, and I was on the way back. I'll just take this story before I go. I was on the way back from this trip, and I was on a plane, right? And while I'm on this plane, I can feel my boobs filling up with milk. But obviously there's no baby there to drink the milk, but my boobs don't know that because they don't have eyes. So it's pretty valid reason that they're a bit depressed, right? So I'm like, right, I'm going to have to breast pump right on the plane. That's what I'm going to have to do. So I get out my breast pump and I put it on the tray table in front of me. Now, if you haven't seen a breast pump before, then tonight is your lucky night. You look under your chairs. You get a breast pump! You get a breast pump! If you haven't seen one before, you wouldn't have a clue what it is. You wouldn't recognise it at all. So I put it on the tray table in front of me. So I'm in the aisle seat. There's no one in the middle, and there's a guy by the window. And I see the guy looking at the breast pump, and he's trying to work out what it is, right? And then he's got a bit of twinkle in his eye, and I think he might be trying to flirt with me. That's clearly a snap up his shape, right? And to be fair to him, he comes out with a fucking brilliant line. It's an absolute zinger. If I wasn't, a married, lactating woman, we'd probably be on a mini break in Prague right now, right? So he looks at the breast pump and says, old school MP3 player, is it? And I just looked back at him and said, something like that. So I said, right, and I start hooking myself up. And it's going on the tubes and wires in place. And then I press go in the motor. And I see the realisation in his face that not only is he hurtling through the sky in a metal tube thousands of feet above the earth, he is now penned in by a woman milking herself. And he does the only thing he can think of to do. He becomes unbelievably interested in the safety car. He's staring at it so intently. He's so embarrassed, he's going redder and redder, and I'll be honest, I'm fucking loving it. I keep going for way longer than I needed to. It was like a bloody dairy farm up there. And by this point, the air stewardess had got to us with a drinks trolley, and she's asked if we want any drinks, and I'm like, oh my God, this is my moment. This is my moment to become my own hero on my own hero list. And I say, I'll have a cup of tea, please. And she says, would you like milk and sugar with that? And I look to the guy next to me and I say, oh, I won't be needing